We made and delivered bomb for Biafran military formation, Okudilichukwu claims. Chris Okudilichukwu Anyamene is a professor of medical microbiology and public health. He is a lecturer in the Department of Applied Microbiology and Breweries, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and one-time public relations officer of the university, a position he held for 5 years. The former head Department of Applied Microbiology and Brewery and second dean, Faculty of Biosciences, belonged to the Biafran Army Engineers Corps during the war. In this interview with Gabriel Chi Alonta, the University Don lets readers into his experience as an Ordnance operative during the war. Let me go back a little bit. I was born in North Kaduna, to be specific. I was there when the first January 15, 1966 and counter coup July 29, 1966 took place. I had just entered the secondary school, and by October of the same year, my family, rushed back to the east. I went first to St. Teresa College, Nsukka, and later over to Enugu for a short break. I was in Enugu by July 6, 1967, and it was there I learned that war had broke out. So I was in Enugu when the war broke out. I am from Ukpo in Nnewi, South Local Government area, and the war did not really get there. We were very lucky, although for some time I had a stint at Umuahia before it became Biafran capital. That was before, and because my father was living in Ututu in Arochukwu, where he worked. It was my responsibility as the first son to travel every month from Ukpo to Ututu through Umuahia to collect maintenance allowance for the family from my father. So it was like a monthly routine. While in the village, we went through a lot. I was a member of the Biafran Civil Defense, and we were exposed to the necessary training. After some time, my elder sister felt that it was not too safe to stay in the village any longer. Ukpo being so close to Onitsha and the famed 11 Div of the Biafran army at Nnewi. The 11 Div would occasionally come to Ukpo on recruitment, drive, or outright conscription of young boys into military service, not minding their ages. At a point, they went to families demanding compulsory nomination of members to join the army. Late 1968, I was taken to my 17 New Umuahia Aba Road, where I got into the camp of 42 field engineers of the Biafran army under 12 Div. After about 2 weeks, I formally enrolled into Biafran army engineers, and we were sent to Usuolo in Orumba South local government area of present Anambra State. The divisional commander was Brigadier Eze and adjutant was Lieutenant Kenneth Ene of blessed memory. We went to Usulo for training and returned to 42 field engineers, moving to the front, coming back, and at times going to Ukpo to see my parents once in a while. On one occasion in the night, I was caught and taken to the Kenefai, a town in today Idiato, South local government area of Imo State, from where we were taken to Oraifite in Anambra State, Okusigo local government area, It was a commando unit. We were later to be taken to then Midwest region, renamed Republic of Benin by Biafra after overrunning the place. However, there was this officer who liked me a lot and who just gave me a pass, and I went back to my camp. In my camp, we had a laboratory where we were mining petroleum products, producing diesel fuel, improvising explosive devices, and other little bombs deployed in the Azumini Aba front. It was a deadly front. We were also producing local detergents, brandy, and whiskey because we had a functional laboratory. Going to the front was something else. We would leave at night, deploy in the night, and our duty was that whenever it was necessary, we should detonate the explosives. It was usually weekly. We used it either to launch or repel an attack. It was interesting. I was a 14 years old when I joined the army, where I had my background in the north. People entered the secondary at 10 or 11th years, depending on how fast you were, and we had people graduating at 16 or 17. The experience I had was that once you came from village to town, they believe you know next to nothing. So my mother made sure I got involved in farming and fishing, and I was the first son and only grown up. That was why I needed to have the kind of courage I had going to the war front. I didn't come in contact at all with Nigerian soldiers, except when we were fleeing our camp and we bypassed them at Ntai, the junction that leads to Mbaise. That was the nearest I came into contact with Nigerian soldiers. It was a very trying moment for those among us who were not in the army. I remember how women and children were running for their lives and planes strafing. That strafing by the planes was confusing because the sounds of the MiG fighter jets was frightening. I remembered on one occasion seeing people and children killed by the Nigerian soldiers. It is not an experience a person will want to go through the second time. We also send messages in the other camps, and at that age, it was interesting because we didn't see any risk. What was important was not the age or the size, but the heart. Well, yes, there were lots of food challenges in the village, but somehow my mother was a leader in the church in charge of Catholic women organization. She was able to organize women to farm, and they would often be given food after the famine. We thank God for Caritas International because they brought cornmeal, salted stockfish, non-fat milk, and it helped a lot in the village. But it was not difficult to find children suffering from malnutrition or kwashiorkor, and a lot of children died as a result. Although I was lucky because my mother was the active type and my father was not around then. I know someone who participated from my family. They went through corridors and got into the market where Nigerian troops were mixed with them and then bought things. They needed courage also, and those involved were rich. They were able to provide things that were not available, like soap, pig milk, beverages, and so on. Biafran personnel and civilians were very innovative and creative. They said that necessity is the mother of invention. There were demands, and people worked hard to get supplies. It was frightening, but considering the age at which we had the attitude of children loving to play under rain and thunderstorm. We were not seeing the risk proper. It was exciting to come to see people and a source of worry for the older ones. I remember two close uncles that came back from north due to lack of accommodation. They enrolled into the army immediately and neither of them came back. Also, two distant cousins that enrolled into the army did not come back. Thank you for listening to this news. Wow, it's an experience anyway. Well, viewers, as you have seen, that's the man who took part in the provision and production of bomb for the Biafran soldiers. So you can see that the war was a reality. So that is why we don't need to give up now. So I don't know what your own comment concerning what the man has just said maybe, but whatever it is, please don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell button to receive more updates. Thank you.